Hello everyone, BJ32 back again with another How to Play. Today we're looking at how to play this word game called Letterpress, which is by Osprey Games. And it's a pretty cool word game. It doesn't say what age, actually sorry it does. Ages 14 and up, you can play anywhere from 1 to 6 players, about 20 minutes. And what you're trying to do is compete with your opponents to create the most impressive boards. And what you're going to do when you do that is you win the opportunity to pick letters that you're going to be collecting. And at the end, you're going to be trying to spell another final word. The final word is the one that's basically the most important. That determines the winner. So, pretty nice. So there is, and they gave one extra card here for solo mode. And you get some reference cards. Each player is going to get one of these. We'll just do a little two-player game setup. And then you got all these other cards. You got some vowels, pretty straightforward. And some other letter cards. These have only consonants, but also some vowels. And you've got these challenge cards, which have different challenges as well as letters. And, if your word scores exactly 15 points, you can claim this card and add it to your collection, which gives you that letter. And, there's all sorts of different challenges, which we'll, probably come across a few here. So, what you got to do to start off, as I mentioned, there's 18 different challenge cards and reference cards for each player. So 76 letter cards and 9 specific vowel cards. We're not going to go into the solo mode at this point. Maybe some other time I'll do it. So what you're going to start off is you're going to shuffle up the decks and create some shared letter rows, basically. What you're going to do is you're going to flip over 2 letter cards, a vowel card. Let's put these here. And 3 challenge cards. These can be used by anyone in their word. And then, of course, players are also going to get some cards for their hand, 5 cards each. And now, what you're going to try to do, I'll say I start off, is I'm going to try to make a word with the cards that I have, and I could also use any of these shared letters that anyone has the ability to use, of course. But actually, I lied, because what you're going to be doing is actually not be spelling a word. I lied. You're going to be spelling a word eventually, but first you're going to be drafting cards. So I'm going to draft a card from this. Maybe I'll take the B. My opponent's going to draft a letter, and now we're going to pass these over. And now I'm going to draft a letter from here. Remember, I already have a B. None of these are very good with the B, unfortunately. Let's just say I'll take the U. They're going to take whatever. We pass them back and forth. And this will probably be a little bit more interesting with more players, but we'll just do a 2-player setup here, which is fine. Screw it, I'll take the X. And they're going to take a letter. Is that to me? Ay, ay, ay. Take a J. No, I'll take the Y. Screw it. And they'll take a letter. And then we get letters. So now we've done this little drafting phase where we've drafted cards. And now, using the cards that we've drafted, can't wait to see what they drafted. Oh God, this is pretty bad. Wasn't a good starting hand, that's for sure. Now, you're going to do is secretly on a piece of paper write a word with these cards. I guess you don't necessarily have to. Damn, I almost got public. Let's see, what can I spell here? Well, bear with me here. I'll just come up with something here eventually. Maybe. I guess I'll just do pub. That's the best I can do. So I'm going to spell down on a piece of paper. My opponent's going to do the same thing. Watch, they got only good letters here. Let's say they spell and I gotta remember I got these letters as well. I guess they'll spell Jello using these letters. Now there is one rule, and that is that you can only use each letter once. However, you can double a letter if it goes two in a row. So if I wanted to use Jello, Jello, I could do that as well. Now, I'm not actually sure if Jello would be a valid word, but we'll go with it. So you could double up letters as long as they go back to back. Otherwise, you're only using each letter once. Now, you're not allowed to use certain words like abbreviations, pronoun or proper nouns, slang words, and nothing with hyphens. I should also mention for the Q, the cards with the Qs come with a Q and a U, and you can use just the Q or the Q and the U if you prefer, which is probably most likely what you'd be doing. So anyways, we drafted cards, we've come up with this word, and now we're going to score up the points on these cards. So I got 9, 11. That's all I got, basically, unfortunately. And this Y, of course, it's in yellow. It's a vowel, but there are some that are going to be consonants as well. And I guess you could use it for either or. Doesn't really matter. So I got, again, 11. This guy has 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 points. You can only count each card once, even if I use this as a double letter. I can only count it once. And now you're going to use this score to rank players from highest to lowest. So use the highest and the lowest. If there's a tie, whoever used the letter with the highest value would be ranked highest. So in this case, it would be him if there was a tie, because he has a 6 valid card, and I have my highest is a 5. So whoever has the highest score now gets to claim a letter from those that are in play, including said letters or a letter that anyone else chose. the person with the highest score gets to claim 2 cards. So maybe he wants to claim this one and this one. If you're doing 2 or 3 players, 3 or 4 players, then the second highest score also gets to claim 2 letters. 5 or 6 players, second and third highest also claim 2 letters. In this case, we're doing 2 players. That means I get to claim 1 card. So I'll claim an E. The rest of the cards now get put aside. And we're going to go through that process again. Now, if anyone, they just challenge this guy. Word scores exactly 13 points. I believe he had that. So he would get to add that to there. If your word scores at least 5 points more than one other player's word, no, you use fewer letters than any other player in your word. I mean, I did, so I guess I have to claim that one. And then you're going to reset the challenge cards. And then at the end of the game, after you do 5 rounds, you're going to do the same thing. Come up with, you're going to draft cards, make up a word, the cards he's drafted. Well, not make one up. Think of one that's actually a real word. And then whoever has the most points gets to select the letters first, and then the next person, next players. And you do all that same stuff we just did with the, again, drafting, etc., etc. Then, and that's the first 4 rounds. The 5th round is a little bit different. You're going to deal out these shared letter cards, just like before, and the challenge cards. But then, what you're going to do is you're going to take all the cards, let's say these are the cards we have. You're going to take all the cards that you have in your collection, and you're going to make a word with those letters. And your opponents are going to do the same thing, and you're going to score. And whoever has the most points from that last final word wins the game. That's it. So the scoring throughout the first 4 rounds, not as important. It's the scoring at the end of the game that's the most important, because that's going to determine the winner. So that is that. I think it's a pretty cool game. Quality in the cards is pretty good, despite the fact that it's not linen finished. I like it. Hopefully I explained that more or less. So that is Letterpress. I like it. It's not bad. It's pretty fun, I think. Comment, like, subscribe, and what you think. We'll see you next time for more. Thanks for watching.